Welcome to PCMC. I'm Mike Buongiorno. PCMC, don't tell anybody. It means Pop Culture Man Children.
It's only for men and children?
No. It is. We are a non-toxic fandom podcast. Don't be fooled. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at my stupid list. That was the voice you heard of the great Bill William Gagliardi.
Hello,
What's
Mike.
your actual middle name?
Joseph.
I don't like it.
I never told you that anecdote where I'm William Joseph. My brother is Joseph William.
Yes, you have actually.
Yeah.
You have.
I can't get over it. That's why.
Yeah. What your parents are doing a bit?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Did I also tell you that when my brother got married, they addressed him as William Joseph and not Joseph William?
Right.
And
So you're legally married to his wife.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And the start of a great sitcom.
Yeah.
But Bill, thank you so much for being here. You had a fun idea, which was favorite fictional bands.
Yes.
Now you're a music guy. You're a musician.
Yes, I am.
Which means you do magic tricks.
I'm a close-up musician.
Yes.
I busk,
I'm a sleight
but
of hand musician. Like Corey Feldman. Have you seen the footage of Corey Feldman
with the guitar solo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where he's not really doing anything?
He's doing his best. He's doing his best.
So fictional bands. So you're a music guy.
Yes.
So I was like, I don't even know if I have like actual bands that I like, but I came up with some stuff. I told my list to Jen yesterday, and she said, "We get it. You're a nerd."
Yeah.
So that's the way she speaks to me.
That's not nice.
Yeah, the fucking disrespect.
Lift you up, not bring you down.
No, she brings me down.
Oh,
That's
man.
all she wants to do is tear me down. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 and 2 honorable mentions.
5 is a safe number.
Yeah, I like both guests to do 5, so we got 10.
We got the top 10.
Yeah. Let me go first.
All right.
I'm gonna go first this time, and I'm gonna start with Sex Bob-omb from Scott Pilgrim the movie. And I say the movie because that is the band in the comic, the manga, but there's no music in the manga.
Yeah.
In the movie, they got real bands and stuff to, I think Beck wrote some of the songs.
Beck wrote most of the songs. He wrote all the Sex Bob-omb songs.
Yes, yeah. It's like real music. It's good. I actually like Sex Bob-omb. And just, you love who, as they say in the movie, who doesn't love a lady drummer?
Yeah. Or Crashing the Boys. Is that girl a boy?
Right. It's all the fucking Nintendo references that you
Clash at Demon Head.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've ever played it. It's an amazing game.
I've never played it.
Oh, you got to download those ROMs. No, you don't. No, it's illegal.
No, you don't.
Unless if you own the actual cartridge. Anyway,
Yeah.
Sex Bob-omb is fantastic.
Sex Bob-omb.
It captured the sound. So, like, the reason why I wanted to do this episode, I pitched this episode years ago when I was doing my own podcast, Rock Pops, where me and Joe Pecora, who's we play in a band together, we wanted to do a crossover episode. But Sex Bob-omb, when we first started playing, Scott Pilgrim first came out.
Yeah.
And like it was just that dirty, like distorted bass, like everything. It's just like a very like everything just sounds like it's through a tin can. That was we were like, we want that sound.
Yeah.
Like it was a sound of a certain time.
Yes.
Like dirtier than grunge.
Right.
But
sad,
fun.
a little sad
Yeah.
too. Like when he's like, "We're Sex Bob-omb and we're here to make you think about death and feel sad and stuff."
Yeah. And then what was the other? From Crashing the Boys, what does he say? He's like, "Oh, this next song is called We Hate You, Please Shut Up" or something.
Yeah, and it's like 2 seconds long.
Oh, that's the I'm sad. I'm sad. Thank you.
It's not a race, guys.
Karen Culkin coming out on the scene.
Yeah, I love all the songs. I love the Clash song.
That's a Metric song.
Yes, right. Yeah,
Called Black Sheep.
yeah, I
Great
love that song.
I like Brie Larson's version of it better.
Yeah, oh, okay.
The Metric one is cool, but I don't know. Brendan Routh on bass. You got Superman.
Yeah, he's got vegan powers.
Vegan powers.
Yeah, they came out with a Netflix anime.
Yes.
Which the first episode was exactly the same as the beginning of the movie. And I was like, what are we doing? And then they did something pretty smart where Scott dies in his first fight, which is not what happens in the movie or the manga.
Yeah.
And then it becomes like an alternative reality version of it. And everything else is different from that point on.
Oh, cool.
So it ended up being a very cool idea. But the problem is the actual execution wasn't great, because then they start like making a Scott Pilgrim movie in the cartoon, and it got a little too up its own ass.
Yeah.
But that movie, like it's one of the rare movies that I watched it twice the first day I watched it. I watched it, and then I watched it like an hour later.
Yeah.
And then I watched it the next day. I was like super obsessed with it. I was like, this is, and I used to show it a lot in film class as like the opening film, like the first day film, because it's got so many bells and whistles, and it's such a great teaching film to be like, look at this, look at that, look at that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's a very good consumable, or like it goes down easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, and especially for people like with interests like you and I.
Yeah.
Like it's got comic book references, like Nintendo sounds, like how many like Zelda, like you have like the hearts filling up, and like the Discovery sounds, and
the dark world from Mario 2.
Yeah.
The Shadow World or whatever the fuck that is. Like that's in it, like an actual thing in it. Yeah.
But I mean, and it focuses all on music, and Michael Cera's bass is like it's called a Rickenbacker 4003, which is a copy of the 4001. One of the coolest basses. Like it's so versatile.
Yeah.
I see the thing. I'm trying to force this in because I know that this has been a non-music podcast for so long.
Sure, yeah.
So now it's like, I got you now.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a real
it's very
blind
expensive.
spot.
Yeah.
In this podcast,
Yeah.
which I don't like it, but I'm glad you're here to do that. Who you got? Give me one of yours.
I'll give you my first one because it's the first one that drew my attention. Is Zack Attack.
Yes.
School is a bore when we're stuck indoors. So Zack Attack. So when I was younger, Saved by the Bell was appointment television.
Of course. It
was on at 5 o'clock every weekday, and I would rush to get my homework done. I loved every minute of. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Miss Bliss years. I liked the high school years.
I liked the Miss Bliss years because I think I had a crush on Nikki.
Oh right,
the curly haired girl.
Yeah, they got rid of her. I remember.
Yeah,
Nikki.
she was. Yeah, but that I also had a huge crush on Jesse Spano.
Yeah.
As we all do,
of course.
Still, no, I'm with you. I would watch after school. Yeah, where was it? Was on like basically it was on like a TNT or something like that.
No, it was on Channel 11 or Channel 5 because I didn't have cable.
Right, it was.
I missed all the cartoons, but it was because I took forever to do homework. And I see that now with my kids. I'm like, oh, I'm paying for what I did to my parents.
Yeah.
But there was, you had the beach episodes where I think we wanted to do an episode on that too, where it was like the summer episodes of
with
Saved by the Bell.
Ernie Sabella? Is that his name? He's the voice of.
Mr. Carosi.
Yeah. But he's the voice of, I can't remember if it's Timon or Puma. He's one of the voices. He's the one that's not Nathan Lane.
Right. Oh, so he's...
If Jen were here, she'd know it.
Pumbaa.
Yes.
Pumbaa, not in front of the kids.
Yeah. Is it Ernie Sabella or did I just make that name up? Is that like
I didn't know that he
is that
was
an
Pumbaa.
old Yankee that I'm thinking of?
It could be an old Yankee. Just like the Cars episodes. I do not know sports.
Lion King. Thank God for the. Oh no, not 2019. No. That one's trash. Ernie Sabella. Yeah. The summer ones, yeah.
But Zack Attack. There was a couple of songs. There was that "School Is a Bore." There was the "Did We Ever Have a Chance?"
Yeah.
Which was their ballad. There was "Friends Forever."
That's the one that I really remember.
Such bubblegum songs, but like it was cool because
it was a fantasy, wasn't it?
Wasn't
it a dream sequence?
Well, at the end, they actually do have a band practice like afterwards, but it is a fantasy from Zach. But like Casey Kasem's in it.
Yeah.
This was me at a young age seeing at the time I knew who Guns N' Roses were. This was before I was introduced to like Nirvana.
Yeah.
And everything. So just the fact that like it's like this is what a band does, and like the fantasy of like becoming big, getting interviewed by Casey Kasem or whatever,
Yes.
then breaking up, and like
Right.
it hit all the tropes of a
For
melodramatic
like a
band.
22-minute episode, it's quite a lot happens in it.
Yeah, it took you on a journey. But like that was the first time where that was really the first time that I said to myself, I want to be in a band. And I think that it was the same with my brother, because my brother and I would sing those songs and like we would pretend to be in a band. It was the first time we were really fascinated to and even to this day, like my brother and I would like sing these songs to each other. Like just like ironically, but you know, so like it's probably the cheesiest one on my list, but it definitely is the most formative one.
Did you ever watch California Dream? Because that was one of those Saturday morning sitcoms they were a band.
I didn't watch. I know of California Dream, but I never watched it. Just I
Surf dudes with attitude, kind of groovy. That's all I remember.
You know what California Dream was to me? It was like the Hey Dude before Salute Your Shorts. Never watched Hey Dude. Watched Salute Your Shorts. Didn't watch California Dream. I watched whatever was on after it.
I did not watch Hey Dude, but I did watch California Dream and City Guys, City. You can see why.
Ooh.
And then what was the basketball one? Hoop something? Hoop. I don't remember.
It's not Hoop Dreams. That's a movie.
That's a great documentary.
Hoop California Dreams.
I can't remember. That's not a thing. I was just gonna say that's not a thing, but Disney Channel was full of like kid sitcoms. Yeah, so I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, you had the Naked Brothers band, but that was way past our time.
Yeah.
You had Protozoa. Boom, boom, boom. You have my heart. What was it? Xenon.
Oh yeah. Oh, right.
You did a whole episode of that.
I know.
You make my heart go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. What? I just put Hoop into IMDb, and they were like, "Your guess is as good as mine, pal."
Did you mean Basketball Diaries?
All right. Anyway, so that's. I see. You said that's. I feel like all of mine are cheesy. Let me give you the cheesiest one.
All right.
Cherry Bomb, and they are the band. They're obviously named after a song from the Runaways, but they are the band from Howard the Duck.
Oh.
And there's really two reasons why I think they're great.
This is your second bomb band, by the way.
Oh wow, that's true. Number one, they have like crazy like hair. I think on the Howard the Duck episode of How Does It Get Made, June Diane Raphael said they're like a live action Gem and the Holograms.
Okay, cool.
They've got that vibe. But then the other thing, and I hate to be base, I hate to be this way because I don't like to be this way on the show, but just the unbearably attractiveness of Leah Thompson. She's great in Back to the Future, but she is just so hot in Howard the Duck, and that outfit she's wearing at the end, and she pretend an actor pretending to be a rock star, doesn't work, but she fucking sells it. She's sexy as all hell.
I've seen Howard the Duck probably once or twice. It's George Lucas, right?
George Lucas produced it.
He produced it.
Yeah, he did not direct it. It does have Jeffrey Jones as an evil monster,
keep him
not
away.
a stretch. Not a stretch.
I gotta revisit this movie.
And they sing a song called "How the Duck," which is just catchy as all hell.
What type of genre is it?
The movie?
No. It's shit genre. The movie, but
yeah, Duck Cinema.
Cherry Bomb.
Oh, I don't. I wouldn't even know.
Is it like the Runaways?
It's kind of like it's like the Runaways, and then it's all girls, but it's not grungy in any way. Like there's no danger to it. They're more like glammy kind of. Let me see if I can find an image of it. Leah Thompson, Howard, and she fucks the Duck.
Yeah,
she fucks the Duck in that movie. There's no doubt about it. Howard
which I mean, have you heard? Like, have you ever done any research on how ducks fuck?
I know that they have screw penises, right?
It's not great. I'm so glad this got on the podcast.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you need. Just look at this image right here.
Why is he up there? Does he know how to play that?
No,
I got Howard the Duck playing the guitar along with
Corey
Leah
Feldman's it. Well, this is this is the last scene of the film.
How dare you?
This is the last scene of the movie, and through hijinks he gets on the stage and he just plays. And she's also singing a song about him. I mean, like the stockings and the whole look is just incredible, incredible.
So you want the 80s blowout, you want the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Come on, you could talk about it. It's safe.
I mean, it feels a little sexist, but I just I think Leah Thompson is like she's like one of like the top 80s crushes for people. I mean, come on. She doesn't park with boys in cars.
But she does. And she drinks. And smokes.
And fucks ducks.
Oh, well.
She touches him on the back of the head, and then his feathers come up like an erection joke.
That's gross.
So.
How, knowing what I know about duck penises, I'm glad that it was just the feathers.
I know. Anyway, cherry bomb. Very proud of myself.
I like it. Now you want me. Now I have to watch Howard the Duck. You have made me have to.
Just look up Cherry Bomb Howard the Duck and just watch them play the song.
You have made me have to watch a movie with Jeffrey Jones in it, which I watch Beetlejuice all the time because the kids watch it, and I have to go, boys, that's the man. But no, now I have to watch it because Cherry Bomb sounds cool.
Yeah.
My next one is something that I was grabbed so hard with. I went and I bought the music book, and it's sitting in that piano bench right over there.
Whoa.
And that is Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Okay. I can't remember it, though. I've seen it for sure.
So Hedwig and the Angry Inch is a kind of like a VH1 storytellers type. Well, so it originated in The Village, but by John Cameron Mitchell. Mm-hmm. And it used to be just a rock show. It was like a 9-song set list, but they would tell this story of how Hedwig was born in East Germany, and in order to cross the Iron Curtain, had to marry an American GI and have a sex change operation. So like they were reluctantly trans.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then assumed that identity and became this band and fell in love with a person who was like their collaborator, and then that person became very famous, and then they were Hedwig was very jealous of it and like always toured where that person was. But it goes beyond that. It goes like the whole story is like finding your other half. Like it's a story about love. It's a story about like just like finding like your self-identity and stuff. It's an amazing journey. It was pitched to me. My friend was like, "You got to see this movie." I was like, "What type of movie is it?" They were like, "It's everything." I was like, "Is it a horror movie?" They're like, "A little bit." They're like, "Is it a comedy?" Like, "A little bit." "Is it a drama?" They're like,
"This is one of those movies I believe I watched very high."
Yeah.
And like came out of it like, "Oh, I really like that." And now I remember that I liked it and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no other details for me.
It's one of my favorites. It's one of my top 5s. The songs have inspired my songwriting.
And there's a film version of it too, right?
The film, yeah. Well, okay. So it was just a live band doing all that.
Yeah.
Then it was the movie. The movie I have seen so many times, and then it came onto Broadway. Like the movie version came onto Broadway.
Okay.
So it was like kind of a hybrid. It started with Neil Patrick Harris. Jeannie and I went to go see it with Neil Patrick Harris. But it had Neil Patrick Harris, John Cameron Mitchell. I wish I got to see him perform it. Taye Diggs, Michael C. Hall, Neil Patrick Harris was phenomenal with it. But like it rocks. It's the music is fantastic. It really like touches on a lot of issues, like mostly about like identity, like who am I, and just.
But
really,
the original version was just like a rock show.
It was a rock show, and then
so how does the narrative? Is it coming out through the lyrics and the music? Like, how are you getting a narrative out of that?
They would talk in between, like they would tell the story in between songs, but the songs would actually like when they're moving to America, they talk about the GI that they fell in love with. And then had to like go through the operation and everything. So, and then they would go into the song "Sugar Daddy." So it's like this is the person who's going to take care of you. Then there's like the song "Wig in a Box." "Wig in a Box" is a fantastic song, and like it's just pretty much about like owning it and then like owning who like this person is. But like it's like you hit rock bottom and it's like doing the thing that like makes you feel like you. So like they talk about them at their lowest points and then creating this persona in order to go forward. So like, and then they go into the song and then, so it's like, there's always like these kind of like vignettes to like carry on to the next song.
Where is the horror in it? Is there violence?
No, you don't want like, especially because of it's not really, like I said before, like they were reluctantly trans originally. Like they were gay and then like were forced just because they had to like escape communism for this. So there is, as far as how it's directed, there's like a little body horror, especially like at the end when like they're finally making peace with themselves. Like there is like kind of like a sequence of like tearing everything off and everything. So it's kind of like, you know, like
so it's a little graphic. Like Rocky Horror-ish.
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
It actually they coined it as like, especially with the camp and everything, they've coined it as the like modern Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those movies like where Rocky Horror I feel kind of fizzles out after the first 10 minutes. This is consistent the entire way through.
Okay.
And I would say the weakest song that was in it when it came to Broadway, they changed it around a little bit and it was one of the strongest.
Nice. Very cool. I that's something I have to revisit entirely.
Rewatch it. It's such a great movie.
Who's in the movie?
Oh God. Really nobody famous. John Cameron Mitchell's probably what's his name? He was in Boardwalk Empire. He's Tommy Gnosis, who is their boyfriend. But really nobody else. Is Andrea Martin Andrea Martin might be the manager, but I'm not really too sure. That's hilarious. But there's an Andrea Martin-like person as their manager.
Okay.
But no, there's all no names. John Cameron Mitchell has done other work. I know that he was on A.D. Bryant's show, Shrill, I think it was.
Yeah.
He was the boss of A.D. Bryant.
Okay.
But it's a quick movie, very well paced. I highly recommend it.
John Cameron Mitchell. Okay. Yes. Yeah, he certainly is. Yeah. All right. So my next band, believe it or not, performed maybe the most famous song in movie history. I'm of course talking about Figure and Dan and the Modal Nodes.
Oh my God.
You might know their big hit.
Oh, the Cantina Jam.
Yeah. First of all, you're a musician.
Yes.
What a shit gig. In that people are getting their arms cut off. There's all sorts of monsters walking around.
Well, it's like Blues Brothers with Rawhide.
Yeah. But they don't miss a beat. They're just like, fuck it. We're here. We're playing it. They're playing. They stop for a second when Obi-Wan cuts an arm off. They're like, all right, and then let's get back right into it. At one point, the Christmas special, they get together with B. Arthur.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask. Do you prefer the instrumental version or B. Arthur's lyrics?
I prefer the real version. But B. Arthur's
come in, friend.
Yeah, her sort of lounge singery version is interesting. You know, it was an interesting collab, but and also just the weird look of them. Every alien that plays a musical instrument in Star Wars looks like they're designed for their instrument. Like
Well, they all played oboe, right? Like, weren't they all like space age version of oboes?
Yeah, but they have like whole mouths.
They were born with that embouchure. It's called embouchure. It's the mouth formation.
Yeah, they were born to be a modal node. And I mean, I also love the name because it's true old-fashioned Star Wars nonsense.
Well, yeah. I mean, modes are actually music. Modal music is so like it's just basing your the key. Like say like you have like do re mi fa sol la ti do. So you have that, but you start it on do mi fa sol la ti do re mi. So like it's just like doing a mode is just starting your key in a different position.
I see. Okay.
So it was a musical thing. Thank you, John Williams.
But then Figuring Dan, not Fingering Dan. Figuring Dan. And I'm just calling it, it's spelled D apostrophe for some reason A-N.
Dan.
Dan. Just
fingered every member of the band.
Yes, just true nonsense. And I'm gonna say preferable to Max Rebo and the Jabba band.
Yeah, you would prefer them over Max Rebo, even with Sly Snoodle?
Look, Sly Snoodle is a great performer, and I also like the weird Honeycombs guy from the new version.
It is the Honeycombs guy.
But yeah, I mean, nothing beats. And tell me that's not the most famous song in a movie ever.
Well, because with Max Rebo, they changed the song.
Yes, that's the problem.
Yeah, they changed it to whatever, like the. Yeah.
Did you go to
the
Olga's...
Twi'lek back singers?
Yeah.
Like.
Did you go to Olga's Cantina when you were in Galaxy's Edge?
No, I had a 2 and a 4-year-old. I mean...
Me and Jed went, and the problem is, like, you wish it was like a bar that you could go into, but it's not. You've got to wait online. You've got to, like, you get in. You've got a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You have, like, we didn't have a table. We had, like, one little section we were allowed to stand in. Mm-hmm. And there is a DJ who is the DJ at that cantina is the robot that used to be the one Pee-wee voiced from the old Star Tours. Mm-hmm. And
that's cool.
You can find the playlist on like Spotify. One of the songs is the Cantina song with like a slight remix.
Yeah.
But we were like, we'd have to wait until that song plays.
Right.
Because also, what are we doing here? We're in this cantina. I got to hear the do. Yeah. And then we heard it. We're like, okay, we can leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you something about the modal nodes, though.
Yeah, please.
If you look at the instruments,
yeah,
are they the same thing as the key from Masters of the Universe? Are they playing that thing?
Hold on. Now I have to.
You gotta look it up. It's like a cross between the oboe and that cool synthesizer that was the key. That what's his name? It's not Otho. It's the Otho replacement.
Oh, you mean Orko?
Orko. Thank you. Sorry.
Gwildor.
It
looks like they're playing a hookah pipe, actually, like. And then they've got a look to them, like they're like, all right, this is what we wear. We all wear the same shit. We're all in black.
I'm so glad we found the name of the band. Like, I mean, how long did it take you to figure out that they were the modal nodes? Because I used to call them the assheads.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they look like nuts. Here's a Dan figure.
There you go.
Come on. Yeah, but if we were doing best fictional instruments, the Cosmic Key, just a that
thing rocked. Oh my god!
Oh my god! I have He-Man's sword tattoo, but I kind of want a Cosmic Key tattoo.
Yeah.
I also want it to be my ringtone.
I wish that it could. Yeah. Oh. No, you don't have the sound system for that. That thing had the brown note. Like it was that droning sound on it.
Yeah. So who do you got?
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap.
Thought it was a real band.
I think I did too as a kid.
I mean, you know what?
They were on The Simpsons.
They were on The Simpsons. And, well, I mean, that was how I was introduced to them. And then I remember my uncle saying, like, oh, Principal Skinner is the bassist from Spinal Tap. And I'm like, the guy from the band is doing a voice on here? Why? Not realizing that it was Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
But why does it mean so much to me? I love Christopher Guest movies.
Yes.
I love the mockumentaries. It wasn't the first Christopher Guest movie. The first Christopher Guest movie I saw was Waiting for Guffman.
Okay. That's actually one I haven't seen, even though it's super famous.
It's so good. I would say that it's probably the best one. And I know like people love Best in Show.
Yeah,
but
I've seen Best in Show a bunch.
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap is really good. Yeah, I had a time in my life where I watched that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I would watch it every day. I remember playing video games and just listening to the movie.
We had I wasn't part of this. A couple of my friends were. I was invited to jump in though. They did a Spinal Tap tribute show.
That's awesome.
You know what it is, and the reason why, like, this kind of treads the line. Yeah, we have Christopher Guest, Harry Shearer, and Michael McKean play Derek Smalls, Nigel St. Hubbins, and Nigel Tufnell. Right? David St. Hubbins and Nigel Tufnell. St. Hubbins is the patron saint of quality footwear, of course. But there's just so many just jokes about 80s rock and roll in that movie. Who was it? I think there's a documentary called It Might Get Loud, and it is with Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin, The Edge from U2, and Jack White.
Yeah.
And he said he watched This Is Spinal Tap and said, even though people said that it was funny, I wept. Just because it's like what you went from like 70s rock and roll to like just the over capitalism of 80s rock and roll. And like that's really what all three of those guys, phenomenal improv artists. Yeah. But also really, really good musicians. They play everything. They wrote everything. Christopher Guest wrote everything.
Wow. All right.
But this thing, it's like the songs are funny and the songs
What's your favorite song?
Probably Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You, or that's a good one. Cups and Cakes, like, because that's the thing. Like, it's like they don't stay just in one era because they
right.
It's a documentary of them starting in the '60s. So like, you have Give Me Some Money.
Yeah.
What's my favorite?
I love
song?
Stonehenge.
God.
Where the demons dwell and they do live well, or whatever the fuck they say.
Like it's so the funnier thing about that is like, so the whole joke about Stonehenge is that they made it in inches instead of feet.
Yeah.
The diagram of the stone pillars. And then Harry Shearer, well, I do this joke every time we have a bad practice or like had a bad show. I always go, I'm going to ask a very obvious question or a logical question. I forget what he says. Will we be playing Stonehenge tomorrow night? Because it was such a massive failure. But like,
whenever I'm trying to get somewhere and I'm lost, I'll say rock and roll. Let's go.
Like, so yeah, that's the thing. It's just like how dumb they are, but also like how educated they sound in interviews.
Well, like I love the scene where he like plays like the eloquent thing, and he's like, "Wow, what do you call that?" And he's like, "Suck my love pump."
Oh, it's in D minor. It's the sad. I think it's the saddest of all keys. Ever since then, I have written any sad song in D minor. It's a trilogy, actually. It's got that real weep. I mean, like, I don't. Everybody has the go to 11 joke. Like Marshall amps did actually make a amp that goes up to 11.
That's fun.
Well, but that's the thing. There's such a influential fake band.
Yeah,
that the music industry has like referenced them so much.
They're not just a band in a movie or a show. They're truly a fake band.
They're truly a fake band. And the thing, like, that's like, they're no longer a fake band. That's the thing. The joke went on so long that people just like, they're respected musicians. What was it? It wasn't Live 8 or like, it probably Live 8. There was something else where, so what happens is, so it doesn't go into the public domain, they renew their license on their copyright. So it's like every decade or like every 15 years, they release something new so they could keep the copyright for their stuff. So they released, like, they did like a short little documentary called like Break Like the Wind, back in the like mid '90s, and then they came out with an album that I bought, which was like their whole Smell the Glove album, plus like some new songs, and they performed at like a major, like kind of like Live Aid type concert, and when they did Big Bottom, which is the gimmick about Big Bottom is that everybody plays bass on it, which there should only be one bassist, but you have 3 bassists. This was a phenomenal event. Like you had members of Metallica, you had Jack White, you had like members of Foo Fighters, Bon Jovi, like whoever played at this concert. And again, there were massive names. Came out and everybody played bass.
That's incredible.
And there was about 100 bassists on there playing Big Bottom. So it's like, yeah, they are respected. They are like, I mean, you can't do this list episode and not mention Spinal Tap.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I think that's probably the ultimate answer.
Yeah.
Would you call the Gorillaz a fake band?
No. I would call it's Damon Albarn. It's his. See, I would call fake bands something that was in another type of media.
Okay.
Like having a persona is something completely different.
Right. Okay.
It's Damon Albarn. They go by different names. They go by like there you have projections of different characters, but we know for a fact that this is Damon Albarn's project.
Right. Okay.
So
what
it's
about
just
the Monkees? Because they were a fake band and then kind of became a real band.
Like the Partridge Family too.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, that happened a lot in the 60s.
Yeah.
But The Simpsons famously said that the Monkees didn't write their own music and they didn't play their own instruments, and it traumatized Marge. But yeah, no, you have Davy Jones. He's the reason why David Bowie had to name himself David Bowie, because David Bowie's real name is David Jones.
Really?
Correct.
Well, that worked out well for him. That's incredible. This one is like not a funny answer. It's a real band called Lugas Nelson and the Promise of the Real, and they play Jackson Maine's band in the new Star Is Born. And I just put that in because I really like all the concert scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
And I really like the music in that movie.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, I'm not a music guy, but when you see a movie about a band, it's almost like when you see like a movie or a TV show about a comedian. Yeah. Like you get that, you smell it. You get that like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
Where I feel like in The Star Is Born, there's a verisimilitude there where you're like, this feels real. So I like it, yeah. And I really like Shallow.
Shallow's, it earned that Academy Award.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd never seen the original Star Is Born. I'd never seen The Star Is Born. I know the songs that you're talking about mainly because, like, think about it this way. Because the same goes for, like, Almost Famous. Stillwater is not on my list.
I have him as an honorable mention.
Yeah, but, like, you got, like, Fever Dog and stuff like that. It's like, if you're gonna write a movie about a band, you better have a team of writers that could write a hit.
Wait, who wrote the Stillwater music though?
Oh, I have no idea.
It was somebody. It
wasn't
somebody.
Jason Lee?
No, sadly, it wasn't. Who wrote music?
This is why you need me on the couch fact checking.
I know. Yeah, it's true. Nancy Wilson of Heart.
Oh, cool.
Wrote the music. And I think she's married to the director. What's his name? Cameron Crowe? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nancy Wilson's a phenomenal songwriter.
Yeah, I think she did the music. Who wrote the music of Stillwater? Crowe and his wife, Nancy Wilson. His then wife. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Trouble in Paradise.
They'll get back together. I love love.
They co-wrote 3 of the 5 songs in the film. Mike McCready of Pearl Jam playing lead guitar on all of the Stillwater songs.
Cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think you should get real music. You should get real people doing it. Yeah. I mean, that's the only way to do it, I think. That's what they do at Scott Pilgrim. Yeah.
Well, you said, backdated metric plays. Yeah. Like, and they have to be good. Like, you can't take any chances.
Right.
So
Now, one that's not on my list, but it's one Jen would be on her list. She suggested was the Wonders from That Thing You Do.
Oh, I think the one without that's another one I didn't put on my list because I knew that it was going to be a mention.
Yeah.
Because That Thing You Do, like the whole movie is about a one-hit wonder, about
Right.
like,
and it is a perfect one-hit wonder song. It really is super catchy.
Yeah.
And like it's exactly what it was supposed to be.
And how are you going to follow that up?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And just the joy and the excitement, like that's one of the things that these movies do that is great. Like especially the ones where it's like you finally just hit it big. Them like running into the stores, turning on all the radios and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like when you get into the second act and you start getting into the melodrama, it's like, well, not everybody does that.
Right.
There is band conflict usually, but that fresh new, like, oh, you are a thing, this could be something. They captured that fantastic. And that was a Tom Hanks joint.
Yeah. Yes.
He should direct more movies.
I agree.
But yeah, I do have to see A Star Is Born. It's something that has been on my list for a long time. And because Bradley Cooper's character, I heard one of the songs that was not The Shallow. And I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, it's
Chris Christopherson didn't have anything to do with it. Rest in peace. He recently passed. But because
he's in the second version, right?
He's in the original one.
No, the original one's in the original one. It's not music; it's movies.
Oh, see, this is how much I know about it.
Actually, there might be 4. It's been the one with Barbra Streisand and Chris Christopherson is the first one where it switched from movies to music.
Yeah,
and then the new one takes off from that. The one with like Judy Garland is he puts her in a movie and she becomes a star. It's a weird thing of it's constantly remade to the point where it's like it's not even no one gets mad that it gets remade. Like it's a tradition of remaking it. So what else you got?
My next one's Sing Street. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie.
No, I haven't.
This came out in the last 10 years. Just with my history in music, this movie made me bawl at the end, crying tears just from nostalgia.
What was this movie about?
So this movie was about a bunch of kids in, I think it was a Catholic school, like a bunch of Catholic school kids in Dublin, Ireland, in the 80s, who this kid's older brother got him into music. He started a band. They said that they were bigger than they were. They started making music videos, but they were idolizing bands like Duran Duran. And
I saw this. Yes, I saw this.
And then the end, they have this song called "Drive It Like You Stole It." It's really, really good, but it just reminded me so much of so when I was in high school, we had a battle of the bands, and it was the first show that my band ever played. And we got the runner-up prize, but we really felt like stars.
Sure,
and the ego really just went to my head
immediately.
But that's the closing scene on this, and just catching their high school friends and everything.
Yeah.
And it just zapped me at the moment, and it was not even just as a fake band. The songs are really good, but just as a movie. Especially for somebody who has been doing it as long as I have, it will really just grab you in the feels and catch that exact moment that you feel I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
But it for anybody else, it really just encapsulates the fantasy of oh, I could actually do this, and this is what people's response could be to it. So it's this is where it's this is why you're attracted to playing. It's because you got that positive feedback.
Right.
You came into it knowing shit, but you realize you got something there's something there.
Right.
And it again, it reminded me of the moment where I realized that, and it was great. But so if you haven't seen it, or if it's been a while.
Yeah, I've seen it. I need to rewatch it because I know I definitely saw it at least once and liked it too. Yeah, I need to rewatch that. I remember liking it a lot.
What you got?
My last one is, maybe I should have done it earlier. It's kind of obvious because I've done a whole episode on it. Josie and the Pussycats, from the film specifically, the 2001 film. I like all of those songs.
It's Letters to Cleo, right?
3 Small Words. I'm not sure who. We have to look that up. I'm not sure who does that. Who did all the music? 3 Small Words. Let's see. Pretend to Be Nice. Spin Around. Gibbs, Kaplan, Harry, Alphont. Do these names mean anything to you? These are the last names of the writers.
I think because I know Janine's a big fan of this movie too. I've never seen it, but I know it's like Rachel E. Cook, Tara Reid, and Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
It is very much the rock band journey, right? Like the garage band turned into
yeah. And then they get super big and they sell out and then they fight each other. Alan Cummings in it, and there's a whole PCMC episode on it. It's great.
God, Alan Cummings really just in all these types of movies because he was in Spice World too. Oh my God, Spice World is an amazing movie.
That's a great fake band. Am I right?
But yeah, so I mean, I'm really just speaking as an extension of Janine because this movie got her into Letters to Cleo.
Yeah.
And who, I mean, just coming from her, were the writers of all the music on this, and they were the actual performers. I remember them from 10 Things I Hate About You. They're the ones who perform I Want You to Want Me at the end. Really cool band. But yeah, I never saw it, though.
It's good. It's fun. It's a fun movie.
I heard. And I watched it. I listened to the episode. I'll get to it, I promise. Right after The Wire.
There's lots of stuff. Right. I'm never getting to The Wire. I've accepted that. Another honorable mention I have is the Real Ghostbusters for the song "Touch It On Magic."
You sent me this. I didn't get to listen to it, but I definitely
have you seen
in my
this
passing,
episode?
Yeah,
the Halloween special. They sing a song creepily titled "Touch It On Magic." And what's interesting is everybody sort of sing talking except Winston, who's really going for it. It's ridiculous. And I sent it to you. I was like, does this count as a fake band? I don't know if Arsenio is the singing voice here or not.
Is Maurice the singing voice for Egon? Maurice LaMarche?
Yes, he's just talking.
Oh, jeez.
And I believe this is a Coulier.
Oh, it's a
Coulier
joint,
not
Lorenzo
Lorenzo music.
Okay.
Something that as a kid I could not tell, and now as an adult I could easily tell.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I can't see Frank Welker singing either.
He's also sort of sing-songing it. Yeah, well, let's just watch it real fast.
And is he splitting Slimer and Ray duties?
Hi guys. Yeah. That son of a bitch. He's richer than anyone in Hollywood, I'm sure.
No, voice actors do not make much money.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think.
What have I been doing
especially the amount of jobs you could have. Frank, if you need someone to be a dog, he'll do that shit. He'll do
Frank Welker does everything. Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely the hardest working voice actor.
Yeah.
That's for another episode though.
I know.
love to do voice actors.
We will do that one at some point. Did you give your number one? Did you have
No,
any left?
my number one is very important. It's the greatest Disney.
Whoa.
This is not a band, this is a recording artist.
Oh, okay.
This is Powerline.
I'm glad this came up.
Thank you for saving it for me. I want more. See, why Powerline is because I want more. I want more of Powerline so much.
Do they only just give us the one song?
No, 2 songs. They give you
songs.
Stand Out and Eye to Eye.
Okay.
So Powerline is from a Goofy movie, which I guess is still considered a cult classic, but people have realized how great it is.
Yeah, people like it now.
I've shown my kids this movie. It's the only straight to video. What's straight to video?
Straight to video.
It's one of the greatest Disney movies. It encapsulates the 90s perfectly. Pauly Shore's in it, right?
Yeah,
with
you
the
bet he is.
Cheese. But Powerline is the analog of Michael Jackson and Prince. And it fits perfectly. Now it was voiced and performed and even danced by Tevin Campbell. Tevin Campbell was in an episode of Fresh Prince as somebody who sings to Ashley on her birthday and she faints. But he was also in Graffiti Bridge. Graffiti Bridge was the third movie of the Prince trilogy. So we know of.
I didn't even know that was a one. I'd never heard of that one.
So there was Purple Rain, there was Under the Cherry Moon, and then there was Graffiti Bridge, which had a whole album.
I had no idea that was that was the third one.
And Tevin Campbell was young in that he's one of Prince's proteges.
Oh, okay.
And again, I'm a huge Prince fan, but it's one of the things where it's not the Fab Five of Disney.
Yeah. It's
just this side character that I am craving more. And the 20th anniversary, he performed Stand Out and Eye to Eye at a D23 event.
Yeah.
There's an acoustic version of it where Tevin Campbell came up to a bunch of guys. He's like, oh, you know these songs? I'm Powerline. Yeah. He's really owned it. Just this larger than life, again, like Michael Jackson or Prince character. And the songs are great. I've always fantasized. I think somebody pitched this on Screen Junkies once, where they had a Disney movie just based on a behind the music or a mockumentary on
That's awesome.
Powerline's upbringing. And it means a lot to me and Janine too. I remember one time when we first started hanging out, I was with a bunch of friends and she pulls up in her car and she's blasting Eye to Eye. I was like, is that fucking Powerline?
That's incredible.
Are you just listening to Powerline in your car? Nobody else knew what it was. And I was like, holy shit. And even then it was more than, because I watched Goofy Movie came out, I was already 10 years old, and it's that's when you hate Disney, right? 10 years old is not now, because now they have more stuff for tweens, teens, and whatever. But Goofy Movie, you had Max who skateboarded and smoked. Or did he smoke? I don't know.
I don't think he smoked,
but
not on screen.
Yeah,
he was disrespectful to his single father.
Oh man, he's a good dad.
He's just trying so goddamn hard.
I know, he's trying his best. How much money can you really be as a department store photographer? They look like they're doing well though with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a Powerline shirt that it's the Powerline World Tour shirt. I wore it to Disney. Incredible. And you can't do this list without mentioning the PL.
Absolutely. Dude, when you wear the shirt to Disney, do you get compliments?
No, the only shirt I got compliments for was my Captain EO shirt.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I feel like the cast members love a deep cut.
Yeah.
I have a Rescuers shirt, and I get a lot of compliments on that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What is it, like Madame Medusa or something? Or
no, it's the two. It's the two main
Bernard
rescuers.
and Bianca.
Yeah.
That should be an episode. Just Disney shirts to wear to the bars.
Yes. See, what I'm thinking about is it's not a fake band, but it's a fake song. Kind of. It's the Night Begins to Shine, which is in Teen Titans. It's one of them is this is my favorite song, The Night Begins to Shine. And it's supposed to be an 80s song.
Mm-hmm.
It's written by BER, which is, who is BER though? This is Wikipedia. Night Begins to Shine is a song by the band BER, popularized by Teen Titan Go. The song was originally co-written in 2005 and produced between 2013 and 2014 as an 80s style song for a music library. The song was first featured in Teen Titans Go. So it was written to be a royalty free, fucking nothing song. It's very good. And then they did a whole Night Begins to Shine 5-episode arc where it's they're riding dinosaurs in some dystopian cyberpunk future. It's just it's insane. It's very good. And then they put out an album with a bunch of people doing covers of The Night Begins to Shine.
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool. I gotta send it to you. It's this is the album cover.
Oh, that's cool. It's a skull with the old Max Headroom type of glasses.
Yeah. When I look at you, I see the story in your eyes.
I love that when something elevates to the point to where accomplished musicians perform. That's what happened with How We're Getting Angry Inch. There's an album called Wig in a Box, and there are established musicians who do covers of the entire album. Yeah, that's when you know that that
you've done it.
You did it.
You've done it. Because I think BER are just the initials of 3 session musicians.
It's B. Arthur, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Well, I mean, after playing with the Modal Nodes,
that's how you get your hooks. You get your hooks in the biz.
Yeah, yeah. She had her foot in the door. It was a connection that she got through that werewolf man that hangs out at
the little guy who's reaching up for the drink.
Yeah. No. That's like a little squirrel guy. There's remember just sitting at a table. There's just like a werewolf, and there's also like a devil. There's a lot of nonsense, like Party City shit in that scene.
There's a Balchinian just starting shit and his arm cut off.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. Any opportunity to do music,
good. It's good to, whenever you have a music idea, bring it on, because I do think music is, pop culture, and to not have a lot of music is, it's a blind spot, really. And no sports and no fucking.
Get your brother-in-law. Your brother-in-law knows a lot about sports, so.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
He'll read you some filth.
William Bill Gagliardi is here. Might be my cousin.
Possibly.
Really know. I haven't looked into it because I don't want it to not be true. So I was just not gonna look into it. I'm just gonna accept it. Bill, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing your musical knowledge. We end each and every episode by saying,
"Go bye bye bye."